Hello and welcome to Rep Sports. I'm Gargi Raut. We have a very important discussion coming up today. And for that, joining me today is Trisha Ghoshal, Shomik Chakravarti, Web of Tripathi, and Bharat Ramraj. So, lots of update when it comes to the BCB versus ICC debacle here. One, ICC held a meeting where any type of swapping of groups was shot down. There was a vote where it was said that if BCB is a no-show in the World Cup, Scotland will be the team replacing them in the tournament. Number two, BCB will have an informal or formal meeting with their players, 5 players, from what we are hearing, from what our sources are saying, and they will be asked to discuss on what the next possible step is going to be when it comes to Bangladesh stepping into the World Cup. And number three, obviously, it was PCB who supported Bangladesh in that ICC meeting, even though nothing was said. PCB was the only board that voted in favor of Bangladesh swapping venues. Apart from that, every other nation voted against it. Now, the latest that we're hearing when it comes to this whole debacle is the fact that BCB, Bangladesh Cricket Board, and the government will have a meeting with 5 of the players, where the players will basically be asked something along the lines of, look, Mustafizur Rahman, one of your own, was turned down by the IPL. BCC asked the franchise KKR to release him. What is your plan? Do you want to go to a country that has refused one of your players? Now, this has gotten into a very complicated situation, and it seems like now it's the players that are being, pushed to the front line. Let's see what our panelists are saying when it comes to this. Shomik, I've given a pretty, a small summary of what all is going on. Obviously, there is a bigger picture here, but when it comes to the latest development of the meeting with BCB, Bangladesh government, and the players, tell us the details about that.
Gargi, you said it's a very crucial and very critical thing. I would say, yes, from Bangladesh's point of view, it's a very crucial and very critical thing. But from us, from the outside, it is a case of an extreme oddity. Have you ever heard? The plan is that Bangladesh's advisors to the sports ministry, he will have a meeting with some of the Bangladesh players around 3 p.m. Bangladesh time. He will take feedback, and then he will take that to the sports minister, and sports minister will take that to the cabinet, and the cabinet will decide. Have you ever heard of a country doing a cabinet meeting to decide World Cup participation? But that's the way it is. Bangladesh has made things complicated, and it is, they have only themselves to blame, because they were always going to lose um, once motion was put to vote after the ICC board meeting yesterday. They were always going to lose that, hands down. 14-2 was the outcome. 14-2, Bangladesh itself gave himself a vote, and Pakistan, and that was just a token vote, because at the meeting, Pakistan didn't say a word. The PCB director didn't even say a word, and Mohsin Naqvi was there. He didn't even say a word in support of Bangladesh. Yes, the voting, that was absolute token, knowing full well that Bangladesh is going to lose, and that all this hollow threats or anything that has been uh, that is being churned out by their media or a section of the media, that Pakistan would pulled out as a mark of solidarity, is absolute nonsense, because Pakistan are never going to lose $4 billion for Bangladesh. So all said and done, this is simply, now the ball is in Bangladesh's court. If they want to play, they will come and play in 3 matches in Calcutta and one in Bombay. If they don't come, a replacement team, very likely Scotland, will come. Now, the fact is that if Bangladesh still don't come, not only they risk forfeiting points, they stare at financial apocalypse, because Bangladesh BCB has signed the participation clause. Now, when they are not coming, they are breaching that participation clause, and it is linked to ICC central revenue. Once they are not coming, not only are they losing the participation fee, which is the appearance fee, and their share of prize money, they are also losing, they are also breaching the participation clause, and it is linked to the central pool. Bangladesh gets around 26 million annually from the ICC. So they will lose a chunk of it. It's now Bangladesh is called. Simple as that. That's it.
Webber, the thing that I keep thinking about is after all the posturing, after all the political signaling, BCB has now come back to the players. It's almost as if they are firing a gun from their shoulders, keeping it on their shoulders. From what we're hearing, and I'd like to make a slight correction on what I said earlier, 5 players will not attend the meeting that BCB, Bangladesh government, and the players are having because they know that they are in this position where their backs are at the corner. But Weber, after all of that, it comes back to the players, and unfortunately they are in a position where they can't oppose the BCB, they can't oppose the Bangladesh government, but they also want to play the World Cup. What are your thoughts?
See, obviously there is a meeting that is going to happen between the BCB, as they are saying, as the Bangladesh media is reporting. But again, it's not down to the players. Ultimately, it's down to the government. Yesterday also I said this in a live that it's not about what players want. It's not about BCB wants. It's now all comes down to the what their government wants, and their government time and time again in the last few weeks, in the last few days, their sports advisor have been constantly, continuously saying the same thing, that we are not going to, walk down against India. Our team will not travel to India. This is what their constant stance has been. And Litton Das, I was hearing his press conference 2 days back during after a BPL game, and he was like, there is a sense of unsurety in the country among the players about the participation. So we don't even know whether we are going to participate or not. See, if you'll ask players, they will definitely say yes, we want to play the World Cup because last T20 World Cup was played in 2024. It's a 2 year cycle after which you play World Cup, and throughout that period you work hard and you hard just to make the 15-member squad. The 15 best player will participate in that World Cup. Each player wants to play the World Cup. It's that grand time that you want to showcase your talent, and this is a place where the auditioning of different franchisee competitions are also being done, because Bangladesh players, unlike Afghanistan or other players, they are not T20 globetrotters that they are always in demand. So these are the competitions where they can showcase their talent, and they can make name for themselves. But now the unfortunate part is that the ball is not in the players' court. Obviously, that meeting is being done just to showcase to the world that we are taking our players also in confidence. But this is again something that is, they are just doing it for the showcase, nothing, just for the gallery, not in anything, because it's not in the BCB's corner, because BCB also know it they will take a financial hit. Players also know they will lose the participation fee, they will lose their match fees, and all for 2 years they have worked hard just to get into the squad, just to play the World Cup, and not they will not be getting the participation fees, the match fees. They will miss out an opportunity to play the ICC event. I think it's very unfortunate from the players' perspective. I more specifically, I'll think about Litton Das, who was going to lead his country into a World Cup for the very first time, and now he has been deprived. He is most likely to be deprived of that opportunity just because the government is stubborn, just because the government is reluctant. And this is a very unfortunate thing that is going in the. Obviously, it started with the BCB. BCB only ignited this war, and now BCB is going to only face the adverse effects of all this, because government, I don't think their government will allow the team to go down, going by the statements of what they have said in the last few days or few weeks.
Or they play under protest. Shomik, the funny thing here is that BCB does not gain anything from pulling out of the World Cup. They don't gain, if suppose ICC had in any universe, in any parallel universe, agreed to swap the venues, then only it seemed like they would have been playing to a gallery and had won the posturing war. But at this point, it doesn't make sense at all. In fact, it's the players who will lose out. They will lose out on IPL contracts. Now it seems like they will lose out on not playing in the World Cup. But yes, talk about it.
Gargi, you very rightly mentioned. I also feel that eventually they will budge and play under protest. Let's see what happens. But that is my conjecture. Now, I don't know why this caretaker government under Dr. Yunus is so hell bent. I mean, this anti-India stance, it has been harming them. And I mean, they are shooting themselves in the foot. But what to do? I mean, they are reveling in shooting themselves in the foot. So let it be like that. You cannot prevent it. From our point of view, from everyone's point of view, if Bangladesh is not here, nobody see at the end of the day, no one wants a team to be forced out of of an ICC event. But at the end of the day, Bangladesh have only themselves to blame. They knew when, if it is put to vote, if the motion is put to vote, they will lose it, and still they stick to their stand. Once again, what I have also heard, there is a division within their political class. A section of the politicians, um, Khaleda Zia's party, they want a patch up. They want, but the caretaker government under Dr. Yunus, they are hell bent. So they are caught between a rock and a hard place. Let it be like that. Let's see how it transpires. But at the I agree with you, Gargi, that I still feel Bangladesh eventually better sense will prevail and they will participate. Let it be under protest. Who cares about Bangladesh's protest when the ICC security team's assessment is nil to negligible threats at Indian venue? But if they are satisfied doing it, let them do it. But I think eventually better sense will prevail.
Absolutely. And speaking from a very neutral position, it is in everyone's best interest if Bangladesh comes and plays under protest because security threat, none found. But Shomik, we'll let you go. I am aware that you are at the airport. You have a flight to catch. Sorry, Trisha and Bharat, for keeping you waiting for so long, but I had to get a final comment. Yes, Shomik.
Yes, yes, Gargi. Before going, I just give you an update regarding Indian cricket. I have written that copy also. Tilak Verma is expected to join the Indian squad before the final T20I on January 31st, and he is expected to be available for the final T20I. 2 days ago, he checked in at the COE in Bangalore, and yesterday he started doing strength drills. So after that, the skill set aspect will come. After that, the aspect will come, and everyone is expecting that Tilak Verma would be free, would be fit, and would be available before for the final T20I of the ongoing series.
A very welcome news for Indian fans here. They are desperately missing Tilak Verma in the squad. But thank you so much, Shomik. I'll let you go. And I'll continue with Bharat.
Thank
Bharat,
you.
how are you looking at this entire debacle panning out? Because at this point, either Bangladesh plays under protest or forfeits points, gets monetary sanctions, players lose out. It's not a good situation for Bangladesh to be in.
Yeah, from Bangladesh's point of view, they're going to lose if they are not going to play in this tournament. See, it has already been noted. If you think about other countries, think about South Africa, there could be young player like Pretorius. He will get chances to play in other leagues as well. There could be some other young player like Jacob Bethel or Owen. These all these players will get a chance to play in other leagues as well. That's not exactly the case with Bangladesh. Even with Afghanistani players, a lot of Afghanistani players get so many opportunities, or for the matter, the big boys from West Indies, from Maria Shepherds and all. But that's not exactly the case with Bangladesh. So, if finally Bangladesh withdraw, they will be the ones. So the players will lose out. It's not just about money. It's not just about revenue. Their players basically will lose out. So maybe they will play under protest. And if you look at it from Bangladesh's board's point of view, maybe they're trying to save their skins now, own skins. That's what basically will happen. Finally, you will look to save yourself. So eventually, you would like to put it on the players, blame on the players, or maybe put the players in the front and see what they will say or what they will do. So basically, they might go and say that see, Indian government or the Indian authorities are calling back all those diplomats and all that stuff. The working relationship is not good at all, and security, there are security concerns. They might add that as well, security concerns. So are you going to that kind of a country who are basically like, in quoted words, let me say in quoted words for now, our arch enemies or whatever it is. So do you want to go to such a country? So basically the players then can't say no. So then they can easily save their own skins, and that is what maybe what is happening. See, I think it goes at the macro level. It's perhaps the case of again the same old stuff that the current Bangladesh caretaker government are not exactly having that kind of working relationship with India, and there is enough anti-India sentiments going around in Bangladesh. So they would want to play to that public image to show that yes, we have taken a kind of tough stand, and even if you are going to play in India, maybe we will do it in protest. Or I have a gut feeling as well at the last minute they might go and withdraw from this tournament just to show that they have taken some kind of a tough stand. But eventually the players would lose out because Bangladeshi players. This was a chance to showcase their talents, to showcase their skills, maybe get a chance in some maybe one or two players to get a chance, like Saif Hassan or whoever it is in ILT20 or whatever other league. But now what will happen is they won't get the chance. That is, if they withdraw, they won't get the chance to showcase their talents.
The government will not want the team to play. That's the thing. And the players will get stuck between the demands of the government and the BCB. So let's see what happens. And obviously, BCB is also under pressure from the ICC as well. So let's see what comes of this. Only a few days to go, few weeks to go for the World Cup to start. So it'll be interesting to see how this all unfolds. Trisha, I'll come to you for the WPL. We haven't spoken in a long time on a show. We haven't discussed women's cricket or the WPL since the last time you were in Mumbai. I really want to start off by talking about RCB because RCB started off not on a great foot, but now that the way that they have turned around their campaign, and I especially want you to talk about Gautami and handing her that made an IPL cap and the way that she has bolstered the batting lineup. Talk about some of the tactical decisions that RCB have made that have helped them get to the top of the order, points table.
Yeah, I think the only unbeaten team so far in WPL. They will only hope that they lose one of the matches because I'm sure they don't want repeat of India's 2023 World Cup campaign. No, none of us want that, but yeah, in general. And I would prefer if they lose against DC. That helps DC, of course. But I think what's best that RCB has done is shown a lot of faith in their young Indian youngsters. Maybe I would have liked Smriti to use Prema Rawat a little better, but having said that, I think the way they have stuck with, say, for example, getting in Sayali Sadgare in place of Alice Perry, which in itself was, not a great replacement as such, but Sayali has bowled extremely well. As far as Gautami Nayak is concerned, Gautami Nayak's story is very interesting. If I can take 2 minutes and tell her story, of course. So she obviously used to play for Maharashtra, but because of the pandemic, she was not getting enough matches in Maharashtra. So then she moved to Nagaland. And while she was playing for Nagaland, she had come to Maharashtra for a break. And there was an exhibition match before the Maharashtra Men's Premier League final. That is where Kiran More actually saw her, went to her and said, will you play for Baroda? Why don't you come and play for Baroda? So then she said, okay, went to Baroda, played for Baroda for 2 years and was scoring runs, and from there, again, Maharashtra asked her to come back because she was successful in Baroda. She came back to Maharashtra, played for Ratnagiri Jets with Smriti Mandana and opened with Smriti. That is where Smriti noticed her and told Malolan and the RCB team that, you know what, we should go for Gautami because I think she will bring a lot of stability to the lineup. So that is the whole story. That's how RCB happened for Gautami Nayak. And I think, if you look at RCB, what has worked is Smriti knows a lot of domestic players. That is where Smriti's involvement in the auction has helped a lot. For example, also, Smriti has, collected a lot of her friends in the team. While that might seem nepotism or whatever, but that also helps when you have a teammate who's close to you and you're backing someone. For example, Radha Yadav. Radha Yadav bats at number 5 for Baroda. That's true. But At the same time, Radha Yadav has never got that position for Indian team, or you don't expect Radha Yadav, the batter, to shine. You think she's a bowling all-rounder. But the backing that she has got from Smriti, she performed when RCB was 43 for 4. She got together with Richa. So I think what that shows is, much like IPL franchisees realize this 3-4 years later into IPL. I'm sure WPL franchisees will also realize it a little later, that yes, you need four fantastic overseas players, but until and unless your Indian core makes sense, you know and you were talking about beginning of the campaign. I thought they got their playing 11 wrong. RCB, in the beginning of the campaign, they got Dayal and Hemlata, who has not been performing for the past 3 years of WPL. They should have directly gone with Gautami Nayak. They also got in Lindsay Smith because, as far as I know, I think Malolan wanted an overseas left arm spinner to start, but that did not work. Snehashish and I have been cribbing about how badly Lindsay Smith's standards have gone down since the World Cup. We had seen her bowl during the World Cup and she was doing very well. But I think now they have got the correct four overseas players, and very difficult to stop them from now on. Also, Gargi, I think the only team which has played as a team. You cannot really say that RCB is dependent on Smriti or Grace Harris or Georgia Wall. Everyone at important points has put their hand up and performed. So overall, and especially Lauren Bell. Sorry, I cannot end without
Yeah.
mentioning Lauren Bell. What a bowler! And as a pacer, I think I am loving it. Every single time Lauren Bell comes and bowls those in swingers, out swingers, and she has adopted that over the years. She was mainly an in swinger, in swing bowler. From there, and the back of the hand slower ball, which works very well in subcontinent conditions. I think while RCB will be extremely happy the way Lauren Bell is bowling, don't think India will be that happy that in England we have to face her against
Ahead
us.
of the World Cup for sure. But it's been incredible to see how Lauren Bell has sort of transformed her bowling. I remember
Oh yeah.
watching her since her debut. I think it was around in 2021. I remember watching her for the first time in a test match against India, and she was absolutely phenomenal back then as well. It was the very beginning for her international career, yet the way that she was swinging the ball around back then as well was very, very impressive. And with time, obviously, she's found more variations in her bowling lineup. In her bowling. Now, there's a super chat here, Weber. Sarvesh Gaurav is asking, do people of Bangladesh want to play in India? If yes, they can come. If not, they can revolt against people. Simple. This is above cricket, guys. Unfortunately, it's not above cricket because a cricket team is involved. So that's not how I will see it, because the Bangladesh team is at this point considering to come or to not play or to not play. Let's see what happens with this bizarre
But what has
incident.
it got to do with Bangladesh people here? I did not
I don't.
understand the question. Because it's not an option that the Bangladesh people have. I don't think people are deciding anything. Neither are Indian people deciding anything, nor are Bangladeshi people deciding anything. There's so much between, and there are so many layers of decisions where I don't
Yeah.
even think even cricketers are the ones who are deciding anything. I'm sure if cricketers are given the option, any country, they would want to just concentrate on the game and not get into this political dynamics. But well, nobody has that option.
Yeah, but Weber, what do you see the likely outcome? I think they will come and play under protest. What are your thoughts?
See, Bangladesh government have to keep their ego aside, and they will have to allow their team to go. If BCB, the top officials of BCB, after the meeting with the players, they can put up the stand that the players will miss out on the match fees. BCB will take a big financial hit, and government is in no position. See, Bangladesh is a I don't have to tell anybody what's their financial status is as of today. So Bangladesh government, we cannot compensate for the loss that they will take after if they boycott this T20 World Cup. So considering all that, obviously the wise decision would be for the government to send the team, whether it's a protest or whatever you want to call it as.
But if they have take what they have been saying, like the sports advisor of the Bangladesh government, what he's been constantly saying, that we will not be changing the stands. If the team wants to play, they have to change the venue, otherwise we are not sending the team. If they stick to that, if they are so maniac, it's a maniac statement to make, because you know the circumstances, how your the cricket in your country runs. You are asking for sponsorship from cement companies, that's you are come down to. So you know the state of cricket, you know the state of your own cricket players. If they don't play in a big event like the T20 World Cup and ICC event, then they will lose out on a lot of things, opportunities, money, and there are a lot of things involved in that. So I think wise decision would be to send the team. But again, if it comes down to only boils down to ego, the ego of the government, then I think I we will not be able to see Bangladesh playing the World Cup, because relocation is out of picture now. Relocation of venues is out of picture. ICC has taken a firm stance. If Bangladesh is also very stubborn, because it's not in BCB's hands or players' hands. It is all on the government. If government is stubborn, government is reluctant to send, they will obviously they will not obviously they will play that ego game, and they will not also allow their team to come. So I think what if you all ask me right now, I don't think Bangladesh is coming to India, and they are not going to play. This is what my opinion is, what my thinking is, at least.
But digressing from the BCB situation a little bit, Anshul has a question. Anshu has a question on the India versus New Zealand game. He's saying Finn Allen is not a part of the New Zealand T20 setup. If he is, how is New Zealand allowing him to play BBL instead of preparing for the World Cup against the best T20 bowlers in the world?
Arey, he's having
I
a
will
casual
tell
contract, yeah,
you.
casual contract.
Yeah, I will tell. See, New Zealand cricket is not BCCI. Don't have. They're not the richest board or the richest board going around in the entire world. They have limited finances. I heard that they had problems even with the domestic cricket in terms of televising it this season. So think of their situation. So from Finn Allen's point of view, he has a casual contract and would love to play the Big Bash League because he would get money. Finally, why do you become a professional? You become a professional to earn. Yes, you would want to play for your country. You would want to score a lot of runs. You would want to take a lot of wickets, but you still want to earn. So that is why you become a professional cricketer or a footballer or whatever it is. So that is what exactly Finn Allen is doing. That is what exactly Team Seifert is doing. That they would want to earn. Yes, they are also going to play in this series, most likely in the last two matches. And that is when I think New Zealand will have a slightly better side. As you know, in the power play overs, you need your openers to come in and score at a fast pace. Hopefully, that will help the New Zealand team. Though I still believe that compared to ODI cricket, New Zealand in T20 cricket are not at that level. But who knows? Every time they do play the ICC tournament, they tend to punch above their weight. But that's the answer to your question. That as a professional, you would want to earn, and New Zealand cricket is not paying enough. That is why when you have a casual contract, even if it is Jimmy Neesham or Kane Williamson, obviously is retired from T20 cricket, all these cricketers will go and play in the leagues.
All right. Someone here is saying Zero is saying Bangladesh GDP growth is at 4.5% and better placed economically than a lot of other South Asian countries. So financial implications from cricket is not consequential. They absolutely are. They are
If
consequential.
it is not the case, then boycott the event. If it
No,
is not the case, then
I
boycott
think
the event. Please,
in a way,
please go
in
ahead.
a way, he was right. I think in a way, he was right. I think when he said people's sentiments are because, as I noted, you like it or not. Obviously, I'm sitting here in Bangalore and commenting, but I keep hearing, keep reading that there are a lot of anti-Indian sentiments going around in Bangladesh. So the government also would want to play to the public image by showing that they're taking a tough stand against India.
Yes, but at the same time, I don't think when it comes to BCB, if they are handed out any sanctions, I don't think BCB can afford that and will want to lose that sort of money. And not only that, this will also have obviously long term implications as well. ACC, what happens with that? Asian Cup, Asia Cup, what happens with that? You already have heightened strained political tensions with Pakistan and the PCB as well, basis what happened in the last Asia Cup. What happens to the growth of cricket in the subcontinent? So it's not a one-off decision that you take and just move on. It will have long-term implications, and obviously BCB then, what happens to their image in international cricket is also at stake. So it's not as easy as it seems of just chalo nahi khelte hai World Cup, nothing will happen. Things will happen. There will be implications. But I think we can end the show on that note. Thank you so much, Trisha, for joining, for Vaibhav and Bharat, and Shomik as well, who joined from the airport. We will come back with more updates regarding this situation, and obviously, Shomik will continue covering the India versus New Zealand T20I series, final leg of the series before the T20 World Cup starts at home. So don't forget to keep your eyes peeled on the channel, and don't forget